Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, today we're going to be doing something a little bit outside of my normal wheelhouse, but occasionally I will delve into the world of fabrication, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So in doing my planer restoration, my metal planer restoration, I've got a big machine that I'm in the middle of restoring. It has a large table that goes on it that weighs about 2,000 pounds. And I'm needing a place to be able to set that while I'm working on it, doing some scraping and so forth to that. And what I've decided I needed is some really heavy-duty steel sawhorses, for lack of a better term. And this will give me something that I can have confidence in putting real heavy parts and pieces down on top of without having to worry about it. I've been needing something like this in the shop for quite some time now, and with this project that I've got going on, it's just the time to get it done. So I have done a little bit of sketching and come up with a little bit of a design. I'm really kind of copying some sawhorses that the fellow Cash Masters that did my grinding on my planer. He had some very similar to the ones that I'm about to build. I took some pictures of them. I really liked them, and that's what we were using to hold the table up when we were in his shop. So I know that they're going to be able to work for that purpose. So to make this out of, I purchased a couple of sticks of 3-inch channel iron. This is kind of a U-shaped channel, and I did my drawings and basically figured it out where I could make a sawhorse out of a 20-foot sticks. And I'm gonna make 2 sawhorses, so I went and purchased 2 20-foot sticks of this stuff. And anyway, that's the plan. So I'm gonna show you my chicken scratch drawing that I did in case you wanna try to copy it. And I'll just let you look at them, and you can look at them on the video and see what I'm about to build. So just to sketch here, again, this is 3-inch channel, so it's 3 inches across the bottom. I'm 1.5 inches high, and basically these are going to be pretty simple. I'm going to build 2 A-frames to go on each side. The legs are going to be 30 inches long and have a 20-degree angle cut on each end, the same angle there. I've got a little cross piece here. This is 10.5 inches on the inside measurement there. Of course, that'll have 20-degree angles on it as well. And across the top, we're going to do a 48-inch beam. We got it turned up so the channel is pointed up, and my idea here is I'm going to cut a piece of wood to fit down inside of that, so the top of this has actually got wood on it so that I can don't have to worry about scratching up pieces when I put them on there. Got a little bit of cushion, and hey, if I wanted to use them in the wood shop, I'm probably going to whittle down a 4x4 to go on there, so I have plenty of wood sticking up above the top. And if I were to get into it with a table, a skill saw or something like that, not really going to be hitting any metal. They're going to have plenty of wood there on top, and those of course can be replaced later on. I got a couple of cross braces in here. This is just to kind of keep it from teetering side to side, just give that bracing in there. These are got 45s on each end, and they're going to be 19.25 inches long, again on the inside measurement. Once I get all my pieces cut out, we'll go over and weld them up, and that's what you guys are going to get to see us do today. For doing the sawing, I needed to support this long 20-foot piece of metal, and since I had the gantry crane right here, we just put a little sling down here on the end. As I pull it in, that piece can just kind of roll right down the trolley, and we should be good to go. And to do my cutting with, I'm going to be using my Morse Metal Devil 14-inch metal cutting saw. I really love this saw. I use it quite a bit for this kind of stuff right here. It's quick, it's easy, and let's just watch it. I got it set on a 20-degree angle. Nice and easy. I got to cut 4 legs 30 inches long, so I'll go ahead and lay this out. Loosen up our clamp. Get that to where I wanted that. Clamp it back down. Nice thing about this metal cutting saw is that it's fast, and it's relatively cool. I mean, that's warm, but it's not hot enough to cut you or anything, or burn you rather. Like I said, I just love this saw. It's fast, it's easy. Some people argue that the blades are a little bit expensive. I've had this saw for over a year now, which granted I'm not using it every day, but it has held up extremely well. I'm still using the original blade on it. I'm very happy with it. Let's keep on going. We'll get these 4 legs cut and then start cutting the other pieces. Got my 4 legs cut. Next I'm gonna do my braces, and these need to be 10.5 inches on the inside. And because of the way these are, I have to flip my angle, so I'm gonna just roll this piece over 180 degrees. We want 10.25 inches, or 10.5. Right there. And we'll cut these. All right, we'll cut another one of these out. Same thing, I'm gonna flip it 180 degrees. And if I wanted to be anal, I probably need to, one of these is gonna end up being pointed up in the sawhorse and one's gonna be down because of the way my angles are, but I really don't care. It's just not that big of a deal. If that bothers you, then you'd have to cut a new angle on that to get them where they'll be in the same position. No biggie. And I'm going for function more than form here. You see what I'm talking about here. The angle channel is up on that one. It's going to be have the flat on the top on that side. But again, I'm not worried about that. If that bothers you, you can make yours different. Got my angle back to just 90 degrees or 0 degrees, however you want to look at it. So let's see, we want to cut that square. All right, this top beam is 4 feet long or 48 inches. Got my saw set to 45 degrees. I need 2 braces, and these braces are 19.25 inches long. All right, turn that 180 degrees. My measurement is 19.25 inches. And that is measured on the inside. And on these, I am going to flip it over and have to recut that to get my angles right. All right, we're going to measure this. This will be 19.25 inches again on the inside. We have successfully turned a 20-foot piece of metal into parts, and that's what's left over at the end. Should have made my measurements just a little bit longer. I've got my first A-frame leg laid out here, and this is the piece that's going to be the top rail, and I'm just using it to get a flat surface. I got my angles laid out on here, everything's good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tack it all into place, just get it welded strong enough to hold together. We'll get it all put together, and then I'll weld everything in place once we get there. So let me go ahead. I'm just using my Lincoln Electric Power MIG 210 to weld this. Let me get a ground on here. And like I said, we're just tacking right now. That should be plenty good enough. We can set that up. And I'm gonna lay the other one out, and we'll do the exact same thing on it. I think I'm going to put some marks down here where these feet came in. Just help me get it lined up. Take a second here and just prep these angles for welding. Go ahead and lay this out. Put our top beam on there. Square, I'm just going to measure across here. We're at 42. And let's see what we need to do here. Looks like this one needs to come out just a little bit. That one's at 42. That one's at 42. And I'll just check the diagonals here to make sure we're square. 50. And yeah, we're within 1/8 of an inch, so I'm good with that. All right, continuing on, I'm just again tacking everything in place. And once it's all together, we'll weld it up. That's good. Next, we'll put our cross pieces in here. Let me find the center of this so I know about where I need to put it. Cross pieces will just go in here like such. This is where I could really use an extra set of hands, but once again, I don't have them. So we'll get that held in place, and I'll go ahead and tack them. All right, that'll hold it for now. Same thing on the other side. All right, that's much better. All right, this is all tacked together. So now what I'm gonna do is come in here and just weld everything up. And I'm just gonna do that off camera and get it knocked out. Well, I finished welding them up. I made the second one and went ahead and got them painted and put the tops on them. We pretty much got a finished product here. I'll just make a few comments. As far as the welding goes, we just made sure we welded every joint really well. My welding skills they're passable. I'm not an expert welder, but I can weld, I can make it stick. And between that and a grinder, I do real well. And I think I'm happy with these. These are gonna hold up just fine. Should have no problem supporting the weight that we're gonna put on them. Went ahead and painted them. And as far as the color, guys, the main reason I went with that blue color is because I went back there and looked and I had a bunch of cans of blue spray paint. It's more or less a match to my gantry crane. And I had bought some when I was making some modifications to the gantry crane to make it match. And anyway, that's what we went with there. The wooden top here, this is just a 4x4. I took it and I cut it down and made it a 3x3 because that was the size of the channel. It's 3 inches across the bottom. And then I cut the bottom, the profile of the bottom to actually fit down in that channel. So I basically had to tilt my table saw to an angle, cut off the sides a little bit, and I made it real nice fit. And once the paint dries, I don't want to do it right this minute, I'm going to come in here and we'll drill a couple of holes and I just run some screws in there to make sure that that stays attached, and that should work well. This wood, the reason I'm going with the wood on top of here is a couple of things. Number one, on the part that I'm gonna be laying on here, I don't want to mar it up. I don't want to have metal on metal. So the wood will make a nice cushion. And guys too, you know, honestly, this will probably end up getting used as my sawhorses when I'm running a skill saw or whatever, and I don't want to run my blade into the metal. So I've got a good 1.5 inches of wood up top here, as long as I make sure I don't have my blade down real low, which I'm usually pretty ticky about that anyway. I shouldn't hit any metal if I decide to saw on this with a wood saw. But all in all, happy with the outcome. These are, I'm not gonna pick them up right now because the paint's wet, but they're heavy. But I can pick these up and move them around without any problem at all. They're not so heavy that one person can't pick them up. At one time, I was thinking about putting some slats across the bottom where I could put a pallet jack up underneath them and move them around. But once I picked them up and moved a few, I said, no, I don't want to do that. Mainly so that I can, if I have those slats in there, you can't really nest them up side by side so they're not taking up so much room when you're not using them. So I decided against putting those cross pieces on there. But again, I'm happy with the outcome, and quick and easy project. This project actually took a lot less time than I was really thinking it was going to. It went by pretty quickly, and got a very usable set of heavy duty sawhorses that we can now use in the shop. And with that, that's going to be a wrap on this video, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Comments are appreciated, and we'll catch you on the next video.